Only a disclaimer, because YouTube don't play that. Everything I say is for entertainment purposes. Please read.
You're full of
So a couple of days ago, I made a video on Renee Good, like, which the whole internet did. It was horrible, bro. What happened to that lady, and a little teensy piece of my activism almost jumped back out of my body, bro. And that weensy little tinks of that is all I need, honestly. I really be in my own lane, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like speaking out and saying what you want to say is wrong, bro. You have free speech, and I'm talking about on a moral level, a real moral level, though. Like, I'm digressing from that. This is why in that video that I just brought up that I made a couple days ago about Renee Good, rest her soul, is this reason right here, yo. For this reason right here, I said I'm not gonna really be touching this like that because it makes me relapse and it makes me like get triggered really bad, bro, when I see stuff like that. And then it makes me even more triggered when I see my government, bro. Regardless, Democrat, Republican, it don't matter. Like, first of all, how dare y'all argue with each other? And this is happening. This is why I love states. This is why I don't never believe in government outside of a local level, bro. I'm sorry. I don't. Y'all constantly fail us and put us in danger, bro. There's no way around it. Like, you can't say y'all don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are scared to say what I just said. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't express myself how I really want to because y'all wilding talking about they got over. They have millions and millions of names of people who this administration feel like are DTs, bro. Ain't nobody know domestic terrorists, bro, because come on, bro. That's crazy. But I digress. These states are coming through. Minnesota, do y'all see them, bro? This man right here, all these people, but this man right here, bro, is what I wanted somebody to say, bro. And he said it, bro. He saw it, he said it, putting his safety on the line, bro, because still at the end of the day, politics are a dangerous game, bro. This man cares about his state, bro. And that's all you can ask for, bro. Like, this was such a crucial time, and I'm tripping and I'm yapping, but this is what I wanted y'all to see, bro. I had to make this video real quick, bro, because this is the best turnaround. The state of Minnesota is suing Kristi Noem and the department. The state of Minnesota is suing Kristi Noem and the Department of Homeland Security, bro, with countless allegations and charges.
And we're here to announce a lawsuit we're filing against the United States Department of Homeland Security to end the unlawful, unprecedented surge of the federal law enforcement agents into Minnesota. Because this has to stop. It just has to stop. We allege that the obvious targeting of Minnesota for our diversity, for our democracy, and our differences of opinion with the federal government is a violation of the Constitution and of federal law. We allege that the surge's reckless impact on our schools, on our local law enforcement, is a violation of the 10th Amendment and the sovereign laws and powers of the Constitution grants to states. We allege that DHS's use of excessive and lethal force, their warrantless, racist arrests, their targeting of our courts, our churches, houses of worship, and schools are a violation of the Administrative Procedures Act on arbitrary and capricious federal actions. And we ask that the courts will end the surge of thousands of DHS agents into Minnesota. We ask the courts to end the DHS unlawful behavior in our state. the intimidation, the threats, the violence. We ask the courts to end the tactics on our places of worship, our schools, our courts, our marketplaces, our hospitals, and even funeral homes.
My wife said, if you win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris.
I'm about to start doing Tai Chi, man. I'm getting up there, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't always worked out my whole life, man. You know, until like for the past 5 years I haven't. But you know what it is, man. I ain't really got to by myself doing Tai Chi.
The deployment of thousands of armed, mass DHS agents to Minnesota has done our state serious harm. This is, in essence,
like mental, physical, emotional. Like, I don't understand, bro. Like, I understand, but like I said, you can't say what you want to no more. Like, I got a reason, and I swear it's not them. It's not the government that I'm not. It's, you feel me? I got a good thing going on, and I can't be I kind of irate. I guess it's not even about expressing my opinion. I just can't say how I really feel about this type of environment.
A federal invasion of the Twin Cities and Minnesota, and it must stop. DHS agents have sown chaos
and I want you all to notice how they are wording their allegations and their charges that they want to bring up on these people. Listen to their words.
Across the metropolitan area and in cities across the state of Minnesota, schools have gone onto lockdown. Entire districts have had to cancel school for tens of thousands of students to ensure safety and offer online education because of the students and the parents' fear of coming into the school.
That's crazy, bro.
Local businesses are struggling. Revenues are down. And some retail stores, daycares, and restaurants have actually closed because people are afraid to go out and to do their shopping, whether they're immigrants or whether they are citizens of many generations. This surge has made us less safe. Thousands of poorly trained, aggressive, and armed agents of the state, of the federal government, have rolled into our communities, overwhelmed our local police departments, and law enforcement agencies should be focused on our public safety, but instead, many are dealing with the aftermath of DHS agents' chaos and violence. I want to thank our law enforcement officers for doing a tremendous job under very difficult circumstances. Not the people, but the federal government. Minneapolis police have had to respond to more than
Shout out to all the people who do the sign language for stuff like this, bro. Because, like, that is amazing, bro. That makes me want to get into that. And it's off subject, and this is not a joke, and I'm not trying to make light of this video, but it's a bartender, bro, all over the YouTube shorts and TikTok, and he Asian, and he stay fresh, nice, pristine bar, and he got the biki. I forgot what you call a small samurai sword, but take it out. It's the one for you know what I'm saying, when you gotta do that to yourself. But he do that little ice cubing of the ice, and he spins it in the glass. That man made me rethink everything, because I'm like, bro, it's just, he took that and made it his. You understand me? But I digress. You know what I'm saying? But that makes me want to do that. I want to, like, I don't envy her job, but like I really like her job.
20 ICE-related incidents, like
job.
Witnesses seeking people being pulled into unmarked vehicles by men en masse, or ICE abandoning vehicles on the street with people detained inside. This is an unlawful commandeering of police resources. In just 2 days, responding to the chaos ICE has cost the city $2 billion in law enforcement and overtime expenses. 2 days. And I wish I could stop there. Law enforcement and overtime expenses. 2 days. And responding to the chaos ICE has cost the city $2 billion.
Who got $2 billion, bro? So, and we broke, bro. Like, when is the last time your pay has went up? And anything, bro. Like, a state has to do that, bro, for their people. And then it only happens when rent go up. The higher rent is. I literally think minimum wage everywhere is based off of rent alone. Renters, people who rent places to live. Because that's like, you go to New York, bro. The cost of living is really high. The wage market is high if you get a job, like you get paid a lot, but you got $5,000 in rent, $3,000 in rent, and $3,000, like $3,500 in New York is like, it's like minimum rent, like for real, like okay, $2,500. I doubt you can get anything that you would want to live in for $2,500 a year. I'm not gonna lie, you might find something, but bro, no.
In law enforcement and overtime expenses, 2 days. And I wish I could stop there, but I can't, because these poorly trained, aggressive, and armed agents of the federal state have terrorized Minnesota with widespread unlawful conduct. They're making unconstitutional arrests and using excessive force. DHS agents have barged into restaurants asking to access secure areas, and when asked to present a warrant, which is required by law, they respond, "We don't need one."
Man.
DHS agents have arrested peaceful bystanders. They have fired chemical irritants at people obeying lawful orders while exercising their First Amendment rights. They have even done so at some of our most sensitive places, like Roosevelt High School.
Could you imagine? Because everybody know they are not tactically waiting for who they think is illegal, bro. So if that, like, with that being said, bro, like, now y'all around people, kids doing this, bro. Y'all are putting people in a police state of mind, bro. But like I said, man, people just keep peacefully protesting, and you know, more people have fallen beside Renee Good, and they keeping that real quiet, bro. I feel like anybody who uploaded videos about that stuff, they are immediately getting taken down. I saw one video about what happened on the West Coast right after that happened to Miss Good, bro. And I watched the video, and it's like, I don't see it no more. And it was like from a Fox News standpoint too. It was like, oh, they were talking back. They were doing something. Disrespect, bro. The day I can get laid out by any type of armed force from this country, bro, just for being disrespectful, even if I am, eat it. That ain't the way to go, bro, doing what y'all did to that lady, bro.
Minneapolis.
And not even her, bro, the countless people that y'all are not deporting, that needs to be that y'all are deporting, that don't need to be deported, bro. Yeah, we don't need our ish overran, bro, but like on some real ish, bro, like y'all tweaking, bro, and it's y'all fault, bro. And what we gotta do is bring people to justice, bro. Like Kristi Noem say, they were disrespectful. You were law enforcement. You need to protect yourself. And bro,
they have detained law-abiding citizens, leaving them handcuffed for hours, just because of the color of their skin, or what they're wearing, or they speak English with an accent. And on January 7th, 2026, a DHS agent shot and killed Renee Good.
Horrible, bro.
Leaving her children without a mother and her 6-year-old son without either parent. This has to stop. So let's
Man,
be
it better
clear.
not happen again,
It never should
bro.
have started. These agents have no good reason to
There
be here.
is
Minnesota's non-citizen immigrant population is just 1.5%, which is half the national average. Our state's percentage is lower than Utah, Texas, and Florida's, but none of those states have thousands of federal agents swarming their streets or harming their people. The administration says that they're focused on finding criminals. Worst of the worst, they say. But many of the people the DHS is arresting in Minnesota have no criminal history. That fits a pattern. In 2025, 93% of the people arrested by ICE had no violent criminal history, 65% had no criminal convictions at all, and randomly stopping people in the street because their skin color isn't the one that they expect or want isn't doing a thing to help public safety. I've heard the administration talk about fraud. No, not the 43 fraud convictions the president has or the $43 million fraudsters the president has pardoned, but instead saying that ICE is here to look for fraud somehow. You know, we work with federal government all the time, and if the federal government wants to help us with forensic accountants, we're open to that conversation. But these ICE agents who are engaged in the behavior that they're engaged in are not helping public safety at all.
wilding out.
Immigration enforcement agents aren't trained to investigate fraud, and randomly stopping people in the street because you don't like their accent isn't going to stop fraud.
I.e., a lot of people, but the one that just got mainstreamed was the Somali Uber driver, bro. Like, he did that to them, bro. And I know he was hard responding, bro. Because no matter how tough you are, bro, when you standing up to these super fascist fakesters, bro. Fluky, Dookie, donut eating, smell like booty. No. But like when you really mess with these fascist groups, bro, it's kinda like heart pounding. You understand?
So enforcing federal immigration law and fighting fraud are just pretexts for this surge. The real reason, it's no secret. Donald Trump and his administration have been targeting people, cities, and states that don't agree with them politically. He singled out Minnesota countless times. He's called us corrupt.
And if somebody just jumped in the middle of the video, these are all charges that they are trying to indict Kristi Noem on.
Corrupt and crooked. He's attacked.
I feel like that's what needs to happen. Like Trump, that's crazy. You like I don't know what to do about that, bro. That's some scary-ish, bro. Because if someone would have, like, if he would have been brought to justice or whatever, bro, like, he need to get internationally indicted or something. I don't know. But, like, I shouldn't be feeling like this. I shouldn't be making a video and being glad finally states are saying something about, you feel me? It should have been up there like this about this. But this is like highly different than any other deaths, bro. You know. So I don't know. This is like this is really shifting. George Floyd was definitely a shift, bro, but this is another shift where it's like we're not the only ones affected. Like the people who care about it, not the only ones that are affected. This is more of a tyrant run. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this tyrants now?
Our funding to the tune of billions of dollars, which we are challenging. And we fought back, of course. He's attacked programs that Minnesotans rely on and tried to shut them down and pay taxes for.
And bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm finna stop paying taxes, bro. Like, I want to stop paying taxes so bad, bro. Like, bro. They took $600 out of my check, bro. They took $600 out of my check, bro. Matter of fact, I know what I'm about to do. I ain't even tweaking.
And he's attacked
I ain't worried
Minnesotans
about them,
with
bro.
despicable, racist, xenophobic language. The truth is, Donald Trump doesn't seem to like our state very much. But what's that about? He doesn't like our best in the nation, safe and secure elections. And sometimes he doesn't like who we choose in them. Just last week, Trump claimed that he won Minnesota 3 times, when in fact, he's never won Minnesota.
Just be
He doesn't
lying,
like
bro.
how we take care of each other or how we make sure our kids have enough to eat. He doesn't like the strength that immigrant communities bring to our state. And he doesn't seem to like that we protect our neighbors no matter where they were born. In short, the Trump administration's decision
Boy, I
to
gotta get
target
them
Minnesota
handsome down.
and Twin Cities is motivated by a desire to retaliate against Trump's perceived political opponents, who are the people of the state of Minnesota and Twin Cities, rather than any good faith concerns about immigration enforcement, public safety, or law enforcement. In conclusion, I didn't have the pleasure and the benefit of knowing Renee Good, but her friends and family knew her as someone who was kind, someone who loved her family deeply, and someone willing to stand up for her neighbors. That sounds like the Minnesota that I know.
I don't see why she wasn't arrested, bro. If it was that serious with her traffic violation, bro, like, you know, my man ain't reached for his taser. They ain't reached for nothing but that. Bro, there's no way that is self-defense, bro. There's no way that is self-defense. You knew what you were already finna do. You didn't get hit, simultaneously draw, aim, and 3 times. You didn't, like, you already had that ready in your head. That was already going through your brain, bro. You know what they call that?
The administration wants to paint false political narratives about us.
That's how I feel it
we know
was.
who we are.
It ain't
we
no
know our
way.
rights. The Constitution gives Minnesota the sovereign authority to protect
And you got
health
inflicted.
and well-being of every single person who lives on our borders. The Constitution gives us
in what anime has Goku or the main character or anybody that has superpowers or superhuman abilities, bro? When do they get inflicted and still be able to pull off whatever they were doing? No, they get hindered for a minute. You know, there's a thing called hindrance. No doubt about it. Like, there's like, yes, there was contact made, but like, who cares, bro? Like, you should, like, that should have been a chase or something. Or like, if she would have dipped, y'all go, you know, but like, come on, bro. And now that I'm thinking about it more, bro, that outcome would have been crazy anyway. Because they would have tried to hurt her, bro. If she would have got away, they would have tried to hurt her, bro. Because they would have chased her. They would have tried to hurt her, bro. You feel me? So I feel like people are just thinking on a broader level. Like, you don't wake up to nothing like this and then get a response like that from your whole commander-in-chief and his administration, bro.
the right to vote for who we want. Pray however we want.
Man, last time I checked, I don't gotta claim you, fam. Or your administration. I don't gotta like y'all. I don't gotta rock with y'all. Y'all serve me. And I'm being real, bro. And these people, the people who y'all done been stepping and treading on, bro. But I'm just glad it's up there court-wise,
and be
bro.
whoever
All states are
we
suing.
want, without fear of being racially profiled.
32 minutes of how they feel about what they about to do to them.
We're going to defend those rights because as much as they like to believe it, DHS is not above the law. That's right. And the people of Minnesota are certainly not beneath it. Let me now bring forward my mayor, the mayor where I go home at night and is doing a wonderful job protecting our city, Mayor Jacob Fry.
Eve leave
Bro, he don't be
online is a
playing,
violation.
bro. I think I say he's the governor of the mirror. My bad.
Thank you, Attorney General Ellison, for your leadership and your incredible team's work around this issue. Thank you to Mayor Herr of St. Paul for your partnership. These are not normal times. And so the response that we are asking for from the judicial system and from the courts requires that we file suit at this particular moment.
Yes.
What we are seeing right now is not normal immigration enforcement. We are not asking ICE not to do ICE things.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. Bro, these muds done been around forever, bro. You don't even hear or see about them, bro. You don't even understand, bro. Like, you don't even know they exist unless you there where it's prominent. You have to be at a border city or a town, bro. So this is all justified, bro. And like, I feel like it's going the right way, bro. Like,
to stop the unconstitutional conduct that is invading our streets each and every day. You've seen the videos. At times there are as many as 50 agents arresting one person. The scale is wildly disproportionate and has nothing to do with keeping people safe. In Minneapolis, we've done work extensively with the federal government under multiple administrations to keep people in our city safe. We have worked with the DEA, the ATF, the FBI, the Attorney General's office, as well as the U.S. Attorney's office, to successfully drive down crime in our city. We've seen the results of that work, but let's be clear. The stated reason of this federal government for bringing in this full invasion of ICE and border control is not safety. If it were safety, there would be other mechanisms to achieve safety. By the way, crime is down in virtually every category, in virtually every neighborhood of this city. If this were about fraud, then you'd see an invasion perhaps of accountants. But that's not what you see. What you see is people being indiscriminately taken off our streets. Discrimination only takes place to the extent that...
and not only Renee Good, but people are disappearing. They are taking people that are U.S. citizens, bro. I'm talking about, and I'm not trying to be like that, but just black and white people, bro, that are like they taking them to the ICE detention camps, bro, and jailing them. Man, they'd be giving me so much paper, bro. I would be suing them so hard,
determination has made that somebody is Somali or is Latino, or at least they look that way, and then there is virtually no discrimination thereafter. Here's the thing. You can't indiscriminately take people off our streets, American citizens off our streets. You cannot drag pregnant women through the snow. You're not allowed to take teenagers out of their car and detain them when they are in fact American citizens. That is against the law in every state. That is against our United States Constitution. And we're feeling the impact here in Minneapolis. Schools have closed. People are afraid to go to work, shop, or seek medical care. 911 calls are up. Police resources are indeed stretched thin. We have approximately 600 officers in the city of Minneapolis. Mayor Herr has approximately 600 officers in the city of St. Paul. The number of ICE agents and border control are now in the thousands. They are in the thousands. If the goal was immigration enforcement, if the goal were simply to look for people that are undocumented, Minneapolis and St. Paul would not be the place where you would go. There are countless more people that are undocumented in Florida and Texas and Utah.
I think the Gorillas got a
Why
song
are
about
they in
this, bro.
these much smaller cities
about
in the middle of the
about
Midwest?
stuff like this on some real
The answer
shit.
is very clear. It is politics. Florida and Texas and Utah are Republican states. The reason that Minnesota and Minneapolis are being targeted is because you've got a Democratic governor, a Democratic attorney general, and you got Democratic mayors. We are doing everything possible to keep our cities safe through this unprecedented time. And at the same time, we have police officers that are tired. We've seen damage substantially because we're now having to pay a ton of overtime. Millions of dollars of emergency overtime for law enforcement. Emergency operations have been activated across our city and state agencies, pulling focus on daily core services that we, by the way, are tasked with providing. Local police officers are being diverted from the very work that we need to be doing, and small businesses are losing significant revenue, with some
Crazy, bro.
worried that
Like,
they may not survive
people's
this at
lives are
all.
being uprooted from this one
People are scared
situation,
to take
bro.
their kids into school or daycare, to go into work. They're going to have difficulty paying
Like,
rent.
I feel like ICE supposed to. I feel like ICE should have to call the police on U.S. citizens, bro. Like, okay, she blocking the street, bro. You got to call the police on her. Like, that ain't your business, bro. Whatever she doing, that ain't your business. I don't know. I feel like
There is no doubt in my mind the kind of action that the federal government is taking is not just mean-spirited. It's unconstitutional, and every one of us need to be standing up.
straight up.
Let me give you another example. Just last week, a group of
In
our
any
city's
way,
public
you don't
police
got to go
officers
down
were
there.
stopped
Just do something.
by ICE agents. 3 of the 4 employees were not white.
Because I got people that's saying, like, I done talked to already, like, in person. And this done came up and it's been like, oh, she should have moved out the way. I mean, she shouldn't have did that to him. She should have been compliant. Okay. Okay.
The ICE agents asked to see the IDs of the 3 non-white employees and didn't even bother to ask the white employee for the identification. Minneapolis is being targeted because we stand up for our neighbors and we welcome immigrants because we believe in the law. And as I said, frankly, because we are in a blue city in a blue state.
The worst freaking state to live in right now is Illinois.
And I don't see how that's a lie because they didn't admitted that in the White House.
And nobody's talking about it.
You know how they admitted it? They clearly say it. They clearly like come with like the agenda. Oh yeah, they did this like 2 years ago. So like we been ain't like them. So we definitely going at them. They say stupid things. It's one category of something for every demographic. They say stupid things. They're not capable people. Like, bro, they been doing this, bro, before you. How are they not capable, bro? They been where you want to be at, bro. They in a place. They don't want to be president. They good where they at. Understand me, bro? And like I said before, bro, I still go by the Constitution, bro. I don't care what nobody talking about. Do what you want to. But I go by the Constitution, bro. And that ain't how I'm gonna live, bro. We're not living like this.
Donald Trump should know. As long as federal agents are in our city acting unconstitutionally against our neighbors, we will continue to push back with everything we got. And
I encourage anybody to try to maybe, class action lawsuits are really effective. The more people that are behind something, the more guaranteed it is, bro. And I feel like in these types of situations, we are so talented in this country, so outrageously intelligent in this country. We are so unique and one of a kind in our own way, bro. And this is like the main one of the main motto objectives of protesting is everybody should do what they are best at. You got the fighters. You got the people who gonna stand out there on the front line. You got the people who get on the computer. You got the people who know people in these places. You got people who got bread, you know, big bread to expendable money that they don't, it don't matter. Unlimited funds for this. Whatever y'all need. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about that. Homes, places to shelter, bro. Anything that you need, bro, to it's ugly, bro. The concept of protesting is just crazy. That right there lets you know we've been doing this, bro, and like it's the devil world right now, bro. Like straight up, it's crazy, bro.
Grateful I am to the residents of our city and of our state. We are not victims in the city of Minneapolis. We've got heroes that are standing up for each other, that are standing by the neighbors that they love. And one thing that I can tell you for certain is that we aren't backing down. We don't retreat in Minneapolis. We don't back down in Minnesota.
I like that.
We stand up against bullies, and right now, what we are asking for is an intervention from the court to push back on this unconstitutional conduct, pure and simple. I'll now turn it off to Mayor Herr.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm proud to stand with Mayor Frey and Attorney General Ellison to fight for our residents. This federal occupation of our cities needs to end immediately. Federal law enforcement is racially profiling our residents, creating mass chaos, and undermining the relationship between local government and our communities. We will not stand idly by and watch this happen. With this collective action, we are taking a firm stance to tell federal law enforcement that this cannot happen in our country. It cannot happen in our state, and it cannot happen in St. Paul. Federal law enforcement is going far beyond what they can and should be doing to enforce immigration laws. They are endangering our community's safety, straining our resources, and sowing distrust. While we know we can't control federal agents, we will pull every lever we have to fight back in every way that we can. They've come into St. Paul and needlessly invaded our neighborhoods and homes. They're targeting us based on what we look and sound like. Our residents are scared, and as local officials, we have a responsibility to act. I want to thank Attorney General Ellison and Mayor Frey for taking a united stance for the people of Minnesota. And to our immigrant and refugee communities, let me be clear. You are a vital part of our city. You are loved, and you are wanted, and you are important to the fabric of our state. That's right. As a refugee who came to this country, this is the state that welcomed my grandparents here in the late 70s, allowed our family to break the cycle of poverty in one generation, educated us, allowed us to build wealth, and within one generation have a new family members that are educated and a part of this economy and this workforce. That we need to continue to make sure that our state stays that, and that can't happen if ICE continues to run amok of our city and our state. And so we cannot let this federal administration divide us. We need to come together now more than ever. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would really like somebody to think about honestly running from a war, bro, and getting turned away by the country you get to, the next country you get to, bro, that can protect you from, or you know what I'm saying? They not going, it ain't even protect you, bro. It's just they not gonna come do nothing to y'all if they know people running over here. They not gonna do nothing. I feel like it was a lot of people that came to this country right, bro. A lot, bro. A lot wrong, bro. But like, we advanced to the point where we can take care of that the right way. And man, boys like this get out of hand, yo.
Great job. So now we have a few minutes for questions. I want to acknowledge the vital presence of President Elliott Payne of our Minneapolis City Council, here on behalf of all of the council members, I think, and the council representing the council. Thank you for your presence here, sir. And I also want to say thank you to all of our staff members who've worked so hard to prepare us for this moment. They all are very, very critical to the work that we do every day, and we're grateful to them as well. And they may help us answering some of your questions. We have about 15 minutes for questions, and so I'll select the first person who I see. Tom?
Attorney General Ellison, there's been some success in getting the National Guard out of some states with lawsuits like this, but that was over a question of what the role of the National Guard is. It's pretty clear what ICE's role is.
Because I ain't gonna lie, bro. Even the National Guard that I've seen in Minneapolis, Minnesota, they they ain't been too nice to citizens neither, bro. You know, come on, bro. Like, I don't know what I don't know what they trying to prove, bro. Because I don't see how this ends good for nobody. Like, for real, like,
make this legal challenge more difficult?
I don't think so, because ICE, as I think the Mayor Fry said very well, ICE has a statutory responsibility to do a certain job. Where our argument is they are exceeding that dramatically in unconstitutional, unlawful ways, violating our First and 10th Amendment rights, our equal sovereignty principle,
more than that,
and provisions of the Administrative Procedures Act. They have to obey the law themselves as they carry forth their statutory duties. We argue they're not doing that. They have to do they have to operate within the law and the Constitution. Yes, sir.
Hey, A.G. Ellison, A.C. Thompson from PBS Frontline.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Is this litigation aimed at restraining the use of crowd-controlled weapons, less lethal weapons? Our whole crew got pepper sprayed today by federal agents. Are you aiming to do anything about that?
Well, one thing I'd like to ask you to do is to make a complaint and make sure people know what happened to you and your crew. Part of what our case is about is First Amendment protection. We believe that the federal government is persecuting the state of Minnesota because of our political views, and that goes and the First Amendment. The press is protected by the First Amendment, and it's vitally important in this moment when freedom of the press and every First Amendment right is under a threat by the federal government. So I'm going to ask you to let us know what happened. But yeah, we're trying to restore lawful conduct and make sure that the federal government operates within the boundaries of the law, which they're required to do. Yes, sir.
This is really something that's obviously really ramped up in the last week.
Right.
What kind of timeline can we expect on this suit? What are you looking at? What's your office kind of expecting here?
Well, we filed a lawsuit already. It's on file right now. Well, it's hard to predict exactly what the court schedule will be, but we are anticipating quick action.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of my team members Brian, you want to respond to that?
Brian Carter, Special Counsel to the Attorney General. I don't know if we filed quite yet, but we do have a motion for a temporary restraining order that's going to be filed today. We're going to ask that the court hear that motion tomorrow morning. There's another similar motion in a separate but related lawsuit that's scheduled for that time. We're going to try and piggyback on that, and we're going to be asking for immediate relief.
Brian Carter, everybody. Way in the back.
St. Paul have any specifics on overtime for police officers in the way that Minneapolis had some stats?
Yeah, and we do know that we have had we've had to open our command center in order to monitor the city. We've had to have all of our officers in uniform, so that we do have information as well, and we'll be sharing more of that information in the days to come as it relates to this lawsuit.
Are those overtime costs likely to reach into the millions if this continues?
Yes, yes.
The question is, are those overtime costs for Minneapolis police and St. Paul police likely to reach into the millions? The answer is absolutely. We have normal core functions that we are tasked with doing on a daily basis. We are required to respond to 911 calls. We are trying to prevent murders from happening and carjackings from taking place. And by the way, the work of our police has been driving down those numbers substantially. Our police officers have performed admirably because they're not just doing their day-to-day job. They're also responding to countless 911 calls that people are being kidnapped, that agents in unmarked uniforms, in unmarked cars, are simply taking people off the streets that are American citizens. They're required to do the work to keep the peace. Our police officers are doing the work to keep the peace and to keep people safe. With 600 officers, we can't do all of those things all of the time. Not to mention, our officers are human beings, and therefore, there is a point where they get tired. And when we've canceled all days off, when our chief is...
And this is my firm belief, which is the best topic that I've heard from Renee Good's senseless unaliving. This one newscaster from an independent, I cannot, and when I edit it, I'm gonna put her picture up there. But she said, if the dude who unalived her already had altercations, he was traumatized from cars and stuff. Bro, why are you still in the field if you cannot perform like you're supposed to? So you out here crazy. You just out here deranged and crazy. So like, if an officer is tired, I don't feel like I feel like this justified, bro. Like, the cops don't seem so bad no more, do they? You know, like, it was a time where in 2020, hey, you gotta, if you were a cop, you had to perform, bro, because people was not having it. You know, it was a crazy time just like this, and like,
working tirelessly, and he deserves a ton of credit here too, where we've got officers that are working incredibly long hours and long shifts. The truth is that when you get to a certain point, you start making mistakes, not because you're a bad cop, but because you're a human being. And so we need relief. We're asking the court for it, but the damage that we are suffering right now in Minneapolis is not limited to overtime costs. It's schools shutting down. It's businesses closing.
Yeah.
It's people being afraid to go out and get groceries and therefore are going hungry. It's their inability to get money so that they're unable to pay rent.
Bro, I know
There's
that wasn't his
snowball
question though.
effect
Like,
that is happening right
I ain't
now,
gonna
and it's
lie.
not
And then
just
like,
because
who is this media, bro? Who are asking these questions? I know bro, you could have looked that up. You know, you could have asked that to somebody else, bro. These people need to ask important questions.
we're in
right
Minnesota
now,
and there's a lot of snow.
That's
the
not an
snowball
important
effect
question,
is because
bro.
what ICE is doing is intentional. This is intentionally putting us in a very difficult position that is not pro-business.
I don't see how nobody see this, bro. Like, how is it so hard to see what this man is saying? Like, ain't nobody just wake up and was like, oh man, yeah. Bro, something happened, bro. Cause and effect. Our government don't know the word, bro. Our government don't know nothing about our creator, bro. They don't follow nothing about our creator, bro. It's something that switched, bro. Like overnight, bro. Like, people saying I'm gonna need medicine and all that,
pro-safety.
man. Like, I don't know.
The only thing that I can see it being is pro-politics.
Here's something most drivers don't know. The older your car, the cheaper your insurance should be.
Oh, really? Let the AI lady tell me that.
Tactics that have been used on the streets. We talked a couple protesters who thought some very heavy-handed use of force toward them. Were you guys concerned about what you're hearing from the public in terms of not only when we talk about the pepper ball spray or how people are being tackled and handled, or what you saw at the high school? Can you elaborate on what you guys are hearing about?
They don't want to the school.
I'll let the mayors jump in here, but I can tell you that this whole lawsuit is partially driven, not exclusively, but partially driven by exactly what you just said. And again, you know, look, ICE was operating here before this surge. We didn't file a lawsuit before.
That's right.
We didn't just wake up like this, bro.
And you know, quite honestly,
that's like, bro.
You know, it is because of the accumulation of so many stories that are just so far out of the range of normal. You know, some of y'all saw the videotape at Target. Some of y'all saw the videotape at Roosevelt High School. And I can tell you how many people who've called me and said, I am afraid to go to work. And I'm not talking about people who are non-citizens. I'm saying citizens. Because when a woman like Renee Good gets shot down, then everybody, citizens, non-citizens, are terrified. And I'll leave it to the mayors to fill in there.
I will say that the question is if we're hearing about it. We are absolutely. I mean, I think that we are really lucky here in our state, and specifically Minnesota, St. Paul, Minneapolis, is that we have a strong network of community organizers who've been working together. We hear almost every instance that happens, you know, whether it's text to us personally and we're looking into it, or whether it's coming into our neighborhood groups. We are hearing it and we are seeing it, and we are looking into every time I get one, I inquire into it to see. But I think that what's more important in all of this is that it's not just the tactics that are being used. It's the attack on the American people who are citizens. I wasn't born here. I'm carrying my ID with me. I'm carrying my passport card and my ID with me all the time because I don't know when I'm going to be detained, when I'm going to be approached. The fact is that it doesn't have to, like, the tactics doesn't even at this point really matter, right? It's the fact that we are being attacked as American citizens right now, and we are hearing of it, and we are inquiring into it every single time we get.
Not alive anymore. That's what makes this so crazy. She's not alive anymore, bro. And it's not the first person. It's not the first person, bro. It was a graphic, very, very graphic way. She's not the first person, though.
We get something sent to us.
Last question. A lot of lawsuits against the federal government that have been ongoing, led by your office. We also do have the backdrop of fraud investigations happening as well. Can you just speak about how resources are being doled out in the Attorney General's office and who's being dedicated to fighting the federal government?
Our Medicaid fraud unit is hard at work. We've prosecuted and convicted over 300 people since I've been Attorney General for Medicaid fraud, and other people in our office who do agency representation. They're working hard, but the people who work on what I call federal accountability, they're busy too, because the federal government has tried to deprive our state of money that we're entitled to by statute, that has been appropriated to our state, and if we don't fight for it, we won't get it, and that will deprive the people of the state of Minnesota of resources and money that they deserve. And I'm talking about things like
this is just a big scoop of, I don't like to say hope. Like, this is like a big scoop of relief, because I didn't expect people to start doing this. I expected a little more like back and forth, but this is awesome, bro. Shout out to Minnesota right now, bro. Shout out to Minnesota right now, yo. Shout out to the whole United States, for real, man. And I'm sending big love to everybody, bro, right now. I ain't gonna lie, because this is a crazy time, and a lot of people not even really receptive to this, bro. You know, I don't really see too much urgency from certain people, and that's because, you know, it don't be on your doorstep, you know. So let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, bro. As usual, the community is definitely growing. I really love y'all, man. Like, for real, bro. Y'all rocking with me, bro. You know, and it ain't built overnight. We do this every day. You understand? So shout out to the everyday community, man, because I really rock with y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta record like so many videos tonight. So I'm low key gonna post this, and you know, we back to the regular scheduled program, man, until some more news come out about this. So like I said, hit them likes so the algorithm catch this, and you know, we can just keep growing, man. So finna roll that outro.
Fits.